Hi, my name is Marty Plecki. I'm here with my daughter Christine, and today's project is finding leaks in what kind of building is this?
A pole barn.
So where are the leaks coming from, Christine?
The leaks are coming from every window and every door in the barn, but most notably this door, all around the top. When it rains, it just comes right over the top, around on the side, and then each corner.
Where else do we have it leaking?
By the window over here.
Here, let's just go over there and show the folks.
We took this window apart, and over here is where it was leaking. It was coming right in from outside where the C channel is outside, just right in down this window and down onto the floor of the barn. And that's what it's doing on every window.
So this is what Christine was showing. We took this apart. We took this post out from here to see what was happening with respect to where the rain's coming in. And there's 3 levels. This is the outside wall. This is the back part of the C channel that forms the rain
Deflection.
Thank you. Deflection around the window, but there's nothing in between here and here. So if water gets in here, it just comes in. And then between here, well, what's up against here is that beam. This beam. And there's nothing, no rubber, no caulk, no nothing between there and the beam. And then between this C channel and the window frame, there's no caulking, there's no rubber. So when it rains really hard, the water starts to pile up. And even if it's a half an inch or a quarter inch high, that's enough static pressure, in my opinion, to cause whatever capillary action is occurring to force the water to come out the other side of that capillary channel and start to rain down or flow down inside the building. So if we can put some kind of a rubber there that keeps the rain from coming in via capillary action, then this should solve the problem. And we'll see when we put that all in here and test it with the either rain or the false rain with the hose. So this is how I rain on the door. We've got this now the water should go in that C channel and just funnel out to the sides. But the caulk at the corner there is bad, and if it rains hard enough, it gets in that gap between the top of the door and the door frame and rains on inside. And I'll show you that from the inside.
Okay, here you can see it leaking down the door from the outside here as it rains down from the top.
Christine is wiping down the door to both clean it and dry it so that whatever we apply to the fix here will stick. And what we decided on was to get some of this weather stripping for a door and apply it to the frame up on top, and we have a slightly smaller one, a little bit shorter for the side, which will apply to the side of the door frame to see if we can get the water to stop from coming in the lip.
We tried a little piece to see how it would stick, and it was very hard to pull off. So it should stick on there pretty well.
Christine is in the process of putting that barrier or weather stripping there, and you'll notice that we put a few layers of, what do you call that, Christine? Don't stretch it.
Window tape. or
because the
see
gap
it.
on the top of this door was much greater in this corner and didn't need any extra tape or extra thickness in the other corner. So we did one strip to there, 2 strips to here, and 3 strips from here, from the corner to about there. So on the vertical door jamb, we put a smaller one, and we only came up to where the door latch crosses this striker plate, because we don't want that to get in the way of, or this to get in the way of the door latch. And then instead of continuing down here right at the front, as water drips down here, we're expecting that it'll drip past here, hit this out here, and then go down, rather than if we put it over here, it might hit here, go in here, and then there's a hole that goes directly down to the floor of the inside from here. So we put it on the inside of this jamb, and then migrated it to the outside so that it would encourage the water to go that way instead of that way.
All right, we're in here testing our fix to see if it comes over the top of the door. Nothing yet. All right, we do have a little leak down here on the floor from this side. So we need to put stripping over there, which we had not done yet. Okay, we put weather stripping on this side where it was leaking when we tested it last. And now we will test it one more time to see if there are no leaks. All right, we're starting the test with the hose. Nothing from the top, nothing from the side yet. We are good. We may have solved the problem. All right.
Using closed cell expanding foam to fill holes like this, and I pull this out of there, is not a bad idea, but when you don't clean it beforehand, like there was this leaf in there, so you know it wasn't cleaned, and you can see on the leaf that it's even still a little wet. So when it doesn't adhere because it's not clean, water just capillaries through here, and if it has a little bit of a pressure head, it doesn't go that way, it goes this way and in and down. So it's important to clean everything. And I have a little example here. You wouldn't put a nut and a bolt in a joint and then not tighten the bolt or the nut to make the joint secure. It's the same thing with adhesives. If you don't clean it, it's like not tightening the nut on the joint. So you have to clean and you have to press to make sure that there's good contact all across the joint that you're trying to glue. When a bead of caulk looks like this, whether it's silicone or some other kind of caulk, where it's concave out instead of convex in, you know that whoever installed this didn't push in to make intimate contact between the substrate and the caulk. So you get stuff that looks like this. You see, look at this. It's just pathetic when you can, you know, without much effort, just pull off the caulk, and then there's water in there. So I'm going to take all this caulk out, clean it really good, dry it really good, and install it properly. It's been raining pretty steadily here for about 2 weeks, you know, in the afternoon for an hour or 2 inches of rain. Anyway, everything is pretty saturated, so I'm using this hair dryer to dry out the most important, well, all the seams where there should be no water because the caulk won't stick if it's wet. Chrissy just put on a layer of Protecto wrap. We're going all out here to try and keep the water out. And what we're going to do with is paint here with caulk or Flex Seal or something like that to make sure that there's no wicking in or intrusion by capillary action in here past these little plugs. Beyond cleaning and dry, I think the main reason why these joints fail, the caulk and then leak, is because the installers don't press the caulk or the Flex Seal or whatever it is into the hole hard enough. So this one I pushed in really well, and I'll show you what I did on this one. So I put some caulk in there. This is quad, tougher than the elements, all season formula caulk. Now I'm going to take this putty knife and press that stuff in to that joint so there's no way that water can wick in. Now I have to do that this way on this side because the C channel that goes here butts right against there. It would be impossible to get the putty knife and the caulk in around the C channel that way. On the other side, I'm going to have to do it with fingers the best I can, and I think I'll do okay all in all. I laid a bead of caulk in the space at the back of this C channel where it attaches, or where the siding overlaps it. And now I'm pressing that up against or in the gap so that the caulk actually gets in between the siding and the C channel. I'm doing the same thing on the sides, where I lay a bead in there and then come along with the putty knife and push it into the gap between the C channel and the siding. I put all these screws in holes, but I didn't tighten them until they were all in so that I knew it would go together properly. This joint looks pretty good, but I'm going to put a second coat on. This joint also looks really good, but I'm going to put a second coat on this one too. I made this tool to put a bead of, or a patch of caulk on the other side of this because I'm not taking this off. It's really hard to get at that. So this guy here goes in like this. I'll put a whole bunch of caulk on that plate, move it down into position, then press it into the joint and pull it out. Now, I made this tool, but I bent the handle the wrong way. And since steel work hardens, trying to bend that back the right way is not going to work. So what I did was I bent it over so that it's facing the right way. Nobody makes everything right. Go figure. It's pretty dark there, but I'll try to show you what I'm doing. So the tool is in the spot, and I'm just gobbing this caulk on it so that when I move it into position, there's plenty there to push up against that joint. Yeah. There's none left on the tool, so it must be in the joint. This is how I'm getting the caulk in between the siding and the C-channel now. It seems to be a little bit more sure that it's getting where it belongs. So I put it on the putty knife, then snake it into that spot and just press it into the joint. And again, it's taking all of this stuff. So I know there's a whole bunch that's going behind the siding and on the C-channel. I'll smooth that out with my finger when I'm done with this. I'm wearing a glove, and it's already got some of the stuff on it, so it makes the bead a little more smooth. I finished caulking these seams between the C-channel and the window frame. And what I do is I put the silicone in there with not a generous bead, but an acceptable bead, and then I get a piece of supermarket plastic bag, and I put the handle on my finger so that I don't have to take silicone off my finger, and I go along the seam like this and push it in to the joint so that it has intimate contact and it's deep enough to have a little bit of a mechanical advantage for staying in place. I got this message from my daughter 2 days after we left the area. So I'm really glad that we did as good a job as we did. This window is done. There's 2 more to go, but I'm leaving the area. So Joe will have to look at my video and reproduce it, hopefully. If you got something from this video, like I always hope you do, click the like, thumbs up icon, the bell icon if you can find it, and it would be great if you subscribe to the channel. So you should pause the video right now, otherwise it'll end before you get a chance to stop it and click the thumbs up and subscribe. Hey, thanks for watching. Have a great day.